Today, I'm looking at the Skullcandy Crusher Evo, which at $200 come in at the mid-range for the Skullcandy line. These feature their signature bass boosting slider. Unfortunately, it overshadows what is actually a surprisingly well-designed and built set of headphones. There's a lot to these, and I was surprised on multiple fronts. A shout out to Elon, who commented on my no comm review. He says, after looking at this, I went and purchased these headphones. I didn't get a sale during Black Friday, but you made this buy easy due to your knowledge. Elon, thank you very much for your comment and for your confidence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. I'm working to build a positive tech community that includes you, so leave a comment or question in the comments below and I may feature it in a future video. Finally, if you like what you see in this video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. If you like what you see and you want to see more, hit subscribe. If you already have, thank you. And if this is your first time, I grade things on a 1 to 5 scale where 1 means I hate it, 2 means I don't like it, 3 means it's just okay, 4 means I like it, and 5 means that I love it. What comes in the package? The headphones, a pouch, a 3.5mm auxiliary cable, and a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. The quality of these is pretty solid, but I want to call out the pouch, which is different than other headphones I've seen. Now, I'm normally not a fan of pouches, but this is a really nice one with a felt covering on the inside and pockets for the cables. But it also has instructions on how to store the headphones and secure the pouch. There's a lot of attention to detail with these from an engineering and user design perspective, which you'll see throughout the entire product. Let's take a look at the look and build of the headphones themselves. Now, visually, these are simple, with a mix of materials and colors throughout the unit. There's soft plastic on the ear cups and on the arms. You can see the Skullcandy logo on the side. The ear cushions are soft. They're artificial leather and they can be easily replaced. And on top of the headband is this rubber underneath and this soft suede on top. Looks wise, I give them a 4 out of 5. The only downside to them is that the buttons give off a vibe that's almost garish, which is weird because they're generally understated. I'm also not a huge fan of seeing all the screws all over the place, but these are really minor things that you can chalk up to personal taste. When it comes to the build itself, these feel sturdy and the sliders, they feel secure. All the hinges feel purposeful and offer the right amount of flexibility and resistance. The headband is flexible and doesn't creak at all when stretched. The buttons feel fine and sturdy, and the choice of materials I think is great for the price. Note that these don't have any sort of sweat resistance, but if you want to take them to the gym, just remember to get some sweat resistant ear covers. All in all, and combined with the build quality for what comes in the box, I give these a 5 out of 5 when it comes to build. I love what Skullcandy did here and their choices. Let's talk about sound. Ignoring the bass, the sound of these is decent enough. Nothing special, but not bad. And then the bass does things. Overall, 4 out of 5. They're more than just okay, and I like them ultimately because of 2 factors: the ease of use in their bass slider and what you can do with the app. Quick technical note, these handle both the AAC and SBC codecs. If you want to know why this matters, check out my beginner's guide to Bluetooth codec, linked above my head and in the description below. For starters, without using the bass slider, these actually have a remarkably flat response, meaning that their bass, mids, and highs are all about even in their representation. When I first put these on, I expected them to be all bass all the time, and that's just not the case here. All on their own, these are a decent set of headphones for the price. Nothing special, but not bad. Don't expect a big spacious sound or a ton of instrument separation. These aren't built for that, but they provide a perfectly fine sound for most people most of the time. You can use the app to shape the sound in a couple of ways. First, these actually give you a hearing test and show you how well you can hear. You'll want to take this test in a quiet environment. You can then choose whether you want to use that personalized sound or just the standard company EQing mix. You can choose from 3 preset EQ settings: music, podcast, and movies. I wish I could shape the EQ a bit more, but these do the job. Because let's face it, the draw with these is that bass slider, which lets you boost the bass and sub bass as ridiculously high as you want. So high that it will physically shake the headphones. If it's represented in the music at all, these will boost it. To me, this sounded like having a decent pair of speakers, then adding a separate subwoofer and bringing the volume on that up. It sounds this way because it is this way. You have the speaker, and underneath the speaker, In the back over here, you actually have a magnetized driver, and that's what causes all that bass rumble. If you want to see someone do a teardown of one of these, check out the video from JD Elliott's at New Stuff TV, where the guy actually opens up one of these and you can see the drivers inside. Link in the description below. I have zero affiliation with that channel. I'm just a subscriber. Anyway, tuning the bass up for a bit was always fun, but at times it was just uncomfortable. I literally felt my tympanic membrane vibrating. But in music, where you really want to hear, or better yet feel, those lower frequencies, that's when you really want to use this bass boost. And yeah, I used it a lot and I enjoyed it. But that's not a mode I want to spend my whole day in, and the sound does get tiring after a while. Not the headphones, they're comfortable enough to wear all day, just the sound gets a bit exhausting. But still, you'll probably want to get these things for one reason. These are comically bass heavy. In fact, check out my first literal reaction when I got these a few weeks ago. Okay, I'm gonna try this up, see what happens. Oh, that bass. Okay, all right, hold up. This is ridiculous. Like, I have it turned up all the way here, and I mean, it's just vibrating my head. This can't be good for your hearing. And something to note, if you plug these in using the auxiliary cable, you have to turn them on and use the bass slider. Otherwise, they just sound like a regular pair of headphones. Still, use these responsibly. Use the bass slider to add that extra bass to songs where you feel it's underrepresented, and kick it up with caution. Sure, it's fun as heck with a lot of music. Hip hop, lo-fi, chill hop, electro swing, but listening to that level of bass for too long could cause damage, so be careful. In fact, I couldn't use them with much, if any, enhanced level of bass after about 15 minutes. When it comes to comfort, I'm putting these at a 3 out of 5. They come in at about 311 grams or 11 ounces, which puts them on a heavier side. But the flexibility of the rubber in the headband and the shape of it with this dip right here in the middle moves the pressure from the top of the head to the sides. The clamping force isn't too bad. I did feel some ear fatigue after about 45 minutes, so I had to take them off for a little bit of a rest, but they aren't that bad at all. Not much ear heat either. I was okay with these while wearing glasses, but I found myself fiddling with the arms of the glasses after a little while. Still, good for use with glasses. Now, with the interaction design, I'm gonna go with a 5 out of 5. Skullcandy did an excellent job thinking through how people would use these. Pairing mode was a bit weird because while you can do it without the app won't recognize the headphones unless you pair them through the app. The dedicated power button was also an odd choice. You have to press and hold it in order for it to power on. If it was just dedicated where you pressed it real quick and it turned on or off, I could understand that, but that wasn't the case here. The buttons were easy to feel and distinctive, and the bass slider really is a great touch. It was absolutely my favorite part of the design. And then there's the app, which is just an excellent overall experience. Battery on these was just fine, 4 out of 5. The 40-hour battery is fantastic, and 10 minutes of charge will give you 4 hours of music. They also charge using USB-C, which is a bonus for a lot of people. On the downside, they don't automatically power off after a few minutes when you stop playing music on them. When it comes to features, 3 out of 5. Sound personalization and that bass are great features, but you trade them for things like on-ear detection and noise canceling. One feature I didn't talk about though is the tile integration, which helps you keep track of these in case you lose them. That's a great touch. Once you take the build and the sound quality into consideration, these offer a decent value for the dollar, 4 out of 5. They are focused on a specific audience. It serves them well. You get what you pay for, and that's not bad. Good quality materials, good build, great app, and a decent sound. They trade active noise canceling and on-ear detection for that great bass and the tile integration. That's a good trade-off, but you can find better default sound along with some of these features in other headsets. Overall score, 3.9 out of 5. I really think these are very decent, but should you buy them? If you love bass and you want ridiculous amounts of it, then yes. The sound isn't bad and the price is just fine. If these are going to be your only pair of headphones and you don't care whether you have an embarrassment of bass, then they're fine, but maybe consider something that's a little older, but at a higher tier. Something like the Sony XM4, which can be found on sale at times at about the same price on these. For other alternatives that are more bass forward focused, check out the Sony WH-XB900N or 910N, which was just released. Also, check out the Urbanista Miami or Urbanista Los Angeles, which come in at $150 or $200 respectively, and they have great bass. Now, would I buy these? Maybe, but this is where personal preferences really come in. If I just want a spare set for when I feel like a sickening amount of bass and I don't care about active noise canceling, sure, why not? I like these a lot in small doses. I'm still a little bit weirded out by how the bass made me feel a little bit dizzy, and I'm not convinced this much bass wouldn't completely ruin my hearing. If you want just one pair of headphones and you love bass, these are a solid choice. By the way, if you love bass forward headphones, click here and check out my review on the Urbanista Los Angeles, which also have the advantage of being solar powered, or check out whatever YouTube suggests for my channel because you'll love it. I hope. Anyway, take care and until next time.